Back to the YouTube channel. Today I got a really good topic for you. Today we're going to talk about how the commercial real estate default rate is going to hurt your pocket. Yeah, you heard me. How the commercial real estate is going to hurt your pocket. And I got a good story for you that I've actually experienced out of my own money and how it hurt me and how it's going to hurt most other people. So I read the Wall Street Journal today, and in the Wall Street Journal, it said that there's $1 billion, multiple $1 billion of real estate, commercial real estate, that's going to go delinquent, that's going to go into foreclosure, and it's going to hurt a bunch of people. So commercial real estate is a funny thing when you think about it, because it's big businesses, it's flats, they rent out the different floors and it drives people to it, and people go there and they work for 8 hours, then they go for lunch, then they go home, and it's just a point of economics, and all that. So now you're thinking, well, how does that affect me? It does, and this is how. And I'm going to actually relate this to my own scenario that I've been part of, and how I lost $100,000 with investing in something, and then a business just didn't make it, or closed down for a little while, and it costed me my business. So what am I talking about? Well, I used to own a frozen yogurt store. For people that don't know, I used to own a frozen yogurt store, and we did due diligence, and we did a bunch due diligence. We tried to do all kinds of different things with demographics and whatnot. And we came to the conclusion that we had a high school right next to us, and the high school was going to be our number one customer. That was going to be our baseline. Everybody else that wasn't in the high school was going to be profits. So I looked at it and said, okay, this works out. The high school is going to bring in about 30, 40 students after classes, because they want to come out, hang out. We had good internet. We had everything. So I was like, oh, that's going to be cool. All these high school kids can come hang out at the frozen yogurt shop, and it was in walking distance. Their parents can pick them up at the frozen yogurt shop. And during summertime, that's going to pay all the bills. And however much we're open afterwards, that's all profit, and we're good to go. And we had that data. We've looked it up, and we've said, this is how it's going to go. So look at this cute dog. Cute doggy. So we did our research. We did that, and we bought the frozen yogurt store. So everything worked out great till COVID turned around. And what happened with COVID? The high school went remote. So now we're like, shoot, high school's remote. That means our target audience is remote now. The people that used to come to our store now is remote. And we're not making the money as we thought we were, because of where we are and what we're trying to do. And the high school was a huge factor when we ranked comps and everything, how many people travel in, travel out. So when you look at how business value is calculated, is when you buy something or you want to rent something, you need foot traffic, right? You need to know how much places rent for, how much foot traffic there's going to be. That's why in San Francisco, they can charge these outlandish prices, and they can charge you $15,000, $20,000 a month, because there's so much foot traffic going through there that it makes sense that you can charge their prices, because you just have so much traffic going through it. But when these commercial offices aren't there no more, that high valuation isn't going to be there. So once the valuation's not there, because the foot traffic's gone, you're going to lose money. So what does that do? Well, most restaurants are heavily reliant on these businesses for lunchtime, right? So you go out for lunch with your work thing and with your work friends, and you get lunch and you do things, and that helps small mom and pop shops to stay afloat. But guess what? Once that stops, once the big businesses aren't there, you got to change your whole audience. You got to change who you're catering to, what you're going to do, and you got to go towards catering style or something else. And then you're going to see how good that's going to work out once you change your your audience and everything else. And it's not going to go over that well because I've got another article that I wanted to talk about a long time, but I never could fit it in sometime. So check this out. In Oakland, huge company said it's too dangerous to go outside for lunch because people are getting robbed, people are getting mugged. So they said, it's better for you guys to stay in. So who again does that hurt? That hurts the common people. It doesn't hurt the Taco Bells and the Burger Kings and all these ones because they have the money. They can ride it out, they can do things. But it even hurts them because In-N-Out just also left Oakland. So now you're like, oh shoot, this is really not going well. So we're losing businesses, we're losing tax dollars, and we're losing opportunities, and people are going to be unemployed. So it's a double whammy, right? It's a double downer. So what do? Well, it's time to clean up the cities. We have in America the most gorgeous cities in the world. I've traveled all over. I've been to Singapore, Bangkok, Thailand. I've been to Bali. I've been to France. I lived in France. I've been to Switzerland. And we in the US have the best cities, with the best cities that, according to my own opinion, right, that we have, San Francisco cleaned up, nicest city ever. Las Vegas that I'm living in, one of the greatest cities ever. Miami, gorgeous. We have something that I can't really describe to you if you haven't been to these American cities. But we have huge problems, and it's not easy to fix those problems unless we fix the politics. And it's easier said than done because Americans, I feel like we always get fooled with what people say and not what they do. So we listen to, oh, this guy's great ideas, let's vote for him. And then as soon as he's in office, he's going to screw us and do something completely different than what we voted him on for. So there's like no accountability for what they do and what they preach. So they say something, do something else, and then the next guy is exactly like it. So there almost needs to be an accountability standard. If you're not doing just these things and clean up the city, you're done. And I feel like we're in a world where people say great things, but do nothing. And I'm tired of it, and we need to clean up the city. But what's great about that is in a city like Las Vegas, where we do trying to do stuff like it, then there's the Raiders are coming because they don't want to be in Oakland no more. They said they don't like it. Let's move. What do they come? They come to a city like mine because it's run better. There's less homeless people. We're tougher on crime, and people can do business here, and we're more business friendly. So that means that businesses go to places where it's business friendly. What does that do? That creates economic growth. That creates prosperity for everybody. Because if you are a dog groomer and you want to go to a place, you want to be in a place where there's dogs, where you don't have to worry about your customers or your stuff getting stolen and broken into. And wow, the wind's going crazy today. Your stuff getting broken into. And yeah, and when you are a business owner, these things matter. I hate to say it, but politics as a business owner does matter. And because you are a representation of your city, you are a taxpayer, you make the city better, you make your surrounding area better. If you're proud of what you do, then you're going to create prosperity for everybody else because you're going to hire people, you're going to give them a wage so they can go out and go to restaurants, they can go out to, then they pay money for taxes, what then creates ballparks, activities, other stuff that then you can, that the city then they can market to, and then your other people will move, other business owners will move, and then it's like a whole snowball effect of great prosperity. But not every city thinks like that. Some cities are so messed up that they can't just fix it with one go around. They need to change things up so drastically that they're at the verge of bankruptcy. And I've seen it that US cities, some of them are in bankruptcy, are almost close to it. And when you look at San Francisco, they just funneled money into a new district attorney so they can actually prosecute people that they couldn't before. Because if you can steal stuff for $1,000 and get away with it, why would anybody pay anything? So look at the wind, how crazy the wind is going. Look at that. Look at how crazy the wind is going. So when you prosecute people, you cannot let anybody just get away with stealing from you. You need to prosecute all these people. You need to be harsh on crime, and you need to say, you cannot do this in my community. You can go to another place and do it, but not in my city, because you're ruining the reputation. You're going to make it hard on business owners, and you're going to ruin the city in the long run. Because once you start tolerating it, it will get around, and it will get even more prominent, right? So if you're doing that once or twice, and you get away with it every time, why would you do it in the future, right? So you gotta clean them up. And with my frozen yogurt store, it was really, really sad to see this high school go out of to go fully remote, because that was her main customer. So I get why these companies are gonna go out of business, or these restaurants are gonna go close, because they don't have the foot traffic. And yeah, once you gotta stay home or stay inside the office for 8 hours and can't leave because your company says it's not worth doing it, you gotta close. And that hurts your business. So let me know in the comment section below if you agree with that, and if we're just tired of it, or is that just my point of view. But we gotta change things around. We really gotta nip it in the butt and start really caring about our small business owners, because I feel like big businesses will always have the upper hand. CVS doesn't care, or Walgreens doesn't care if they lose $20. But a small business owner, that's an hour worth of work for an employee. That is an hour's worth of work for somebody. And yeah, now you say, oh, but yeah, Walgreens should care. I know they do, but there's a cost of business, right? Everything, there's a cost of pursuing something, or there's a cost of association. There's always a hidden cost. And for small business owners, it's way, way harder than it is for big businesses, right? Because big businesses have bigger margins. Not all businesses have bigger margins, but once you're a big company, you have agility, you can borrow, you can fundraise, you can do things that a small business owners can't. And so with all these big commercial foreclosures, on one side, it's going to be good because it's going to create new opportunities. But on the other side, it's going to be detrimental for these small business owners. And so how do you prepare for it? Well, you got to find a new audience. You got to find out if you can offer catering, if you can offer host an event, or do I don't know, like a food truck type deal where you go and you go cook for somebody at a barbecue, and you start trying to make up some revenue for something like that, because it's so detrimental to keep the small businesses around for the US, for the economy, for everybody, that nobody's really talking about it too much, on how that affects you down the road and how it's going to affect your neighbors and everybody else. Because if you have money as a business owner, you're going to keep your business nice and clean. You're going to improve your own property. You're going to improve your house. And it's a whole spiral effect that sometimes people don't see and don't want to see. And so let me know if I'm completely off on this one. Let me know, and I will talk to you in the next one.